Here you go.
Hi guys, happy Friday. Welcome to the Design Exchange. Wow, what a week.
Yeah, no kidding.
Um what about 2 weeks? You haven't been on the show in a while, Melinda. You've been missing. And
Yeah,
I've been having to have fill-ins.
I'm
You've
taking a
been
COVID vacation.
It looks like you've been shopping at Bobo's Home Collection for that blanket in the background. You're in your beautiful cabin with some shiplap on the wall.
I'm laying down in my bed. It's so
Oh.
funny. I was like, oh, I think I'll try this background. Funny, isn't it? And it's weird how it like outlines my hair and stuff. So
Yeah.
I love playing around with computer stuff. So funny.
It only took us about a half hour to figure out how to get on here. We've been having some technical difficulties.
I swear it's your computer.
I don't know.
Not mine.
I just finished. You're my second one today.
Yep.
But
exactly.
I've been at work
I
since
don't know.
2 a.m.
It is Friday.
It's been a day. It is Friday. Happy Friday. I am fresh back from KBIS, the Kitchen and Bath Industry Show and the International Builder Show. Melinda, you followed along virtually.
I did.
There were a lot of missing vendors that were missing.
I knew that was going to happen. I started seeing that happen, about a month out. I'm like,
Overall, it was a very good show because it wasn't so packed. So we got to get more one-on-one with the vendors that we normally are busy with doing other things.
yes.
So I can't say I saw much new stuff because plumbing doesn't change too much. You have a faucet and people were like, what do you see trending? And I was like, water. The most memorable booth I could think of was probably the GE Cafe booth. I believe GE, they've been spun off from their original company, which was General Electric, and the appliance side is now completely different. But we were in the cafe booth and they had a green kitchen that I posted about. Their Monogram booth looked really good. They redid their logo for Monogram. What else? Kohler Faucets had a good showing. Smeg Refrigerators was there. This isn't a show that is about color, but like you saw, there was an entirely green kitchen. So green cabinets, I was seeing a lot of green cabinets, a lot of navy blue cabinets.
Yeah.
I know every quartz surface on the planet.
And they're all white with gray.
Yeah.
In some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. But I mean, everybody's doing quartz, I could tell you that much. But we saw a lot of different unique behind the wall is what I'm calling it. When you go to this type of show, it's designers. Typically we're superficial and we're just working on what's outside of the wall, making things pretty. I'm the kind of designer that I want to know what's going behind the wall, because that's just as important as what's on the wall and in the front. So I got a whole plumbing education. My cousin's a master plumber out of Cleveland. And
that's right. I forgot you got to see him.
Yeah, we hung out. I hung out with his contractor. He hung out with my team. And I feel like I went through a whole plumbing course, but I know all about the new draining systems and
linear drains are a big deal right now, and zero entry showers.
Yes, I found multiple ways of doing zero entry showers, multiple ways of doing so many ways to do linear drains.
I've seen a couple zero entry showers now, Danny, that like they're the same floor that is in the bathroom area that carries into the shower. And then I've seen them where they take a different floor and put it in the shower area. So what is it? What
do you mean by
design aesthetic? Like if it's a 24 by 24 porcelain tile floor in the bathroom area and it carries into that shower, or are people putting the smaller hexagons or squares in that coordinate with that into the shower with a zero entry?
It's a personal preference. So I saw a lot of new drainage systems that go behind the wall, and they have a magnetic panel that actually comes off of the wall, and your drain is it's on such a small slope that you don't notice it, but you're
Yeah.
still getting that small slope. And
Mhm.
the drain, it's still round and it goes behind the wall, and then you have a magnetic cover over it, so you really don't even see where the water goes.
Yeah,
And you can
that's really cool.
tile this drain and it can pop off. It can be decorative. I mean, there's so many options.
Yeah.
A lot of companies were showing pre-made drainage pans. So
Okay.
they were textured. They were kind of resin material, but they were fabricated. It was like everybody from Italy, all the Italian vendors
Huh.
had this
Neat.
pan that I'll show you. And they had a texture, and it was like either Carrara marble or in a black Carrara, but they had plain white. A lot of things that you'd see in a hotel.
Yeah. I'm
Um,
seeing a lot of things too with I just totally lost my train of thought. Oh, the linear like niches that go the whole width of the shower now. How
so when
are
I
builders getting around that with, if that's a supporting wall?
It's easy. You just build your beam up higher, but niches are coming pre-made now. Benches are
Yeah.
coming pre-made. I could have killed my mother the other day. She called me. I told her to call me when the contractor gets there.
Yeah.
She called me after the contractor left, and she
Oh.
told the contractor that she wants a cement bench.
Connie. My
Okay,
hair is
Connie,
just
you want a
in this.
cement bench?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I
So
was just
I'm sure the
mortified.
contractor was like, cute.
I told her to call me when he was there because I still have to do the drawings. I still have to do this.
Yeah.
I still have to do that.
Yeah.
But this show, I mean, this show encompasses all things
Yeah.
building
Right.
materials,
Right.
and everything in our business. One thing that I learned was the software that we use is completely outdated, and we're supposed to be using a completely different software. I'm not going to use the
Yeah.
name right now because we're going to cover that in a completely different
I
episode.
noticed that you were using that a lot, and I was using the other platform,
Uh-huh.
and I went back to your platform and tried to work with it, and I couldn't deal with it. So I've always used the other platform. So, but I want
Um,
to go back to benches real quick.
okay.
Did you see the shower bench? This was Samuel Mueller, and I don't know if you can see this. Ooh.
I can't see. All I see is your fake background. And now you've gone away.
Cute. I'll have to text it to you. It is actually a really decorative foot on the bench, and the top of the bench is a piece of quartz or granite. Did you get it?
I don't have a phone near me. My team is working right now, Melinda. We're running a very busy multi-hundred design firm over here.
I'm like,
Um,
oh, there.
I did not see that, but we can make that easily. That can easily be made.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So
I
that
did
was,
I ran into our friend Al from Delta Faucets. I ran
yeah.
into Luann Nagara.
This is the linear drain or the linear niche.
All the niches are coming out pre-made, prefab.
Yeah.
They can easily be done.
And
It
this
just
is what I was
depends.
talking about with the floor going into the shower. That's the same.
Well, you're basically showing me Pam Crandall's bathroom that we did in Galena. But you always have to know that you have to have a slope somewhere in there. And I'm not 100% on the degree of the slope. I want to say it's like, you can't quote me on this.
Yeah.
I don't know the number. I want to
10.
say it's less than that. It might be 6%, but the plumbers would always know that. We would go to the
Yeah.
plumbers for that. That's a really, really modern look. And what I saw people doing a lot of was much more oversized, much more eccentric much more Gilded Age, kind of, much very Art Deco, a lot of Art Deco. Art Deco is
Nice.
really big right now.
So I saw this on KBIS official website, and it's a sink without a drain. Since we were talking about, oh, that's a handle. Hold on. Do you see it?
Yeah.
So the perimeter of that sink is the drain.
Yeah.
So the water comes down and then it filters out to the sides. I want to know how the plumbers do that. Like, where the water, does it go underneath it into another sink area?
Think of it as a secondary sink. So your water goes around it, filters down, and then that's probably a decorative plate that comes out, because I can't imagine if you get a clog, you have to rip your whole sink out. So the water would go around that. And they're getting really, really creative with the things that they're using with these sinks that are completely flat.
Yeah.
Lots
I love
of
that look.
Yeah. We had a conversation and a training. It was kind of funny because I pulled a Danny Russo card with one of the vendors, and they were like, "What can we do to get you to show up to our booth?" And I go, "Well, you can give me caviar and champagne."
Oh my gosh.
And they go, "Okay, if you promise to be at this booth at this time, we'll have caviar and champagne." Well, I showed up at the booth at that time and they pulled out caviar and champagne. So
well, there you go. Just
and actually,
name your price.
It was the Moen booth, and I didn't realize that Moen is actually based out of Cleveland, Ohio.
I didn't either till you told me that.
Yeah, Moen's based out of Cleveland, and then there are a lot of sub floors and drainage pans. We used to call them mud pans back in the day, and then they came out with the prefab versions. But there's a company up in Cleveland called Odie, OATEY or OATY, and they actually have a unique drainage system with the linear drain that has the magnetic plate that sticks onto the walls. From what I noticed, it was all about hiding the drain.
Yeah.
And making the drain go away.
Yep. I had some pictures of drains too.
Motion faucets are a big thing in the bathroom. My question was, what if you want hot water and you would like wave your hand by your bathroom faucet? Well, is it always going to come out hot? Yeah, I saw that. That's just that's the standard. I think that's literally called linear drain, the linear drain company.
It is. Yep.
There were so many of those there. That was every 5 feet, I would say.
So that's a big deal, right?
Yeah. Everybody's doing linear drains. And you got to think about it. You got to think where your floor joists are running. You got to think about if you have to build up your floor, if you have to go down, how it's going to be done.
I saw something else that was kind of fun. 3D printed handles. Kitchen handles.
I saw a 3D booth.
This is what they were showing, and it was super cool. And Mtech company is now doing customized doorknobs and door handles. So you could put whatever finishes together or whatever shape you want to do. So that was kind of cool. They just came out.
Mtech was out of the corner of my eye the whole time that I was at the House of Roll having my caviar.
Oh, so tell us about Roll. You were very impressed with this line.
So the House of is it ROHL? The House of Roll. Yep. It's a line it's a luxury line from Moen, and I would call it a boutique line. Yes, they have 5 different. I think they have 5 different brands, but Moen was showing a really nice bidet, a bidet toilet, and then we're the House of Roll. So the House of Roll was started by a family that the father started the company in Montreal, Canada. And back in 1983, he actually introduced the first pull-down faucet hose in the kitchen that was built into the faucet, and he would just buy them and that's all he would sell. And then they expanded on the brand. And it's funny because we were having a tub conversation, but the tubs that they make are made out of volcanic stone mixed with resin. And I go, so what's the lead time on this?
Yeah.
Do you have to wait for an eruption?
Yeah.
Like, how are we getting the volcanic stone? And he goes, well, funny thing you say that. We've had an issue with the lead times because the volcanic stone comes from South Africa, and the area in South Africa is run by some South African tribe, and the tribal leader was, something happened where something with taxes and they couldn't ship the stones out. And it was a very interesting story. And it's all about storytelling these days. What we do as designers is tell a story.
Right. Exactly.
But the story, we tell the story and it looks good on the front, but you got to know what's behind the walls. I learned so much about diverters, valves, and how you're doing your plumbing, the old style versus the new styles.
People
and the technology is amazing.
With the diverters, you go from a shower head to a handheld, you've got to divert the water to that.
Yes.
So, and then you have the body jet situation. If you do that, you've got to divert the water to the body jet. But some people want the body jets and the shower head to work at the same time. So that has to be two separate controls, right?
Yes. Yes.
I was like,
okay, the short answer is yes, but the long answer is there's new technology out that can control off of one valve. You can control 4 different things.
Oh, wow.
So it was a double valve with a thermostatic controller. And then there was one valve that can control 2 separate things. So the technology for plumbing has come very, very far. And I didn't get to make it into Kohler's booth, but somebody was telling me there's a lot of electronics that are involved now, and you just press a button and they turn on and off. My big thing was they were showing me these fixtures and these valves, and they were like, this one valve is moving 20 gallons per minute. So okay, so the average person who wouldn't know this, or the average designer, would think, okay, I'm going to do that in my client's house, and I'm going to put this beautiful faucet, we're going to have body jets, we're going to have a rain head, we're going to have 2 shower heads. Now let's think about that. So if you're pumping out 20 gallons per minute, can you hear me?
One shower head.
I don't know why my headphones always go out during.
I can hear you.
Yes, I can hear me. Okay, yes. So I don't understand this. So think about what I just said. You have all of these body jets, your shower head. They're pumping out 20 gallons per minute. 20 gallons per minute. How big is your hot water tank?
Right. Exactly.
The average hot water tank is only, what, 80 gallons?
Yeah.
So you can have
a 4-minute shower.
Or 4-minute shower. But if you're going to mix it with cold water on your 80 gallons, and you want to take a lukewarmish shower, you could take an 8-minute shower.
True.
So, in my house, I have a 100-gallon hot water tank, and even that is not doing the job these days.
Right.
And I think I have a rain head, 2 shower heads, but if the washer's running and somebody else is in the other bathroom, like, I'm screwed. But
we have 2 hot water tanks at my house.
Well, you have space. You live on a farm.
Plantation. It's a plantation.
So you have that, and then you also have the so anyway, what you want to think is you need an Insta-Hot, those tankless hot water heaters that are making the water instantly hot. And a lot of designers don't think about that when they're designing.
Absolutely.
So it's always important to think. When that girl told me 20 gallons per minute, and I'm like, oh,
that's cute.
4-minute shower.
And they're like, well, you mix it with cold water. Oh, okay, that's a 6 to 8 minute shower. So,
and then nobody else can take a shower until
no.
that water is replenished.
Exactly.
Not
But,
good.
yeah, we didn't.
We would have fights in my house. Who used hot water?
Yeah, but Toto toilets, they didn't show. Delta Fault faucets didn't show, but we're having an issue with back orders on plumbing. Like, it's hard to get fixtures right now.
Yeah,
so we're getting the basics in, but
yeah.
So
what's the latest in toilets, Danny? Washlets?
Bidets. No, they're coming out with the toilets that have the washlets built in. A washlet is an attachment to a toilet.
And you have to have an electrical outlet nearby, right?
Yes, you do. Now, a washlet, like I said, is an attachment to a toilet. That's not aesthetically pleasing.
No.
So Moen had a beautiful bidet toilet combo.
Okay.
And they actually had it where you can kick the, there was a button on the bottom of the bowl. You can actually kick it and the seat would open.
Get us a picture of that.
I wish I could have taken pictures. I was too busy talking.
All right, I'll look and see if I can find it real quick.
But yeah, it should be on the Moen's website.
Okay.
And you got to remember, Moen, I like Moen. I love that they're based out of Cleveland. I didn't know that. I got to meet the president of the company. I met the whole brand regional reps, but there are 2 versions of Moen, and Moen is sold at, I'm not even going to say the name, but it's sold online.
Big box.
It's sold in some big box stores, and that's not the same faucet than you get when you're working with a designer or a showroom. Those faucets have been value engineered and they've taken out the brass fittings, so they end up failing pretty swiftly. So that's something I would highly recommend avoiding. If you can.
This one? Is
That's
this
the
it?
one. That's the one. Jason's supposed to bring that to me next week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Moen Intelligent E-Toilet. 3 series, heated seat, front and rear washing, self-cleaning nozzle, instant heated water, warm air dryer, and deodorizer.
The toilet cleaned itself, I believe.
That's crazy. They call it Intelligence E-Bidets.
Yeah. So I'm imagining
this one has a night light on it.
Yes, it had a light. I'm imagining that they come with an app, because there was a wireless remote control that was by the booth, and I'm imagining you could take that all over the house. And I was just picturing myself with
playing a joke on Fred.
Exactly. Like the bed story, but better.
Yes, exactly. I just thought about that. I'm
like imagine sitting on the toilet and all of a sudden water starts shooting up. Or air. But anyway, not a lot of people can get excited over faucets and stuff, but we as designers know what's behind the wall, what's in front of the wall, what's on the wall, and what looks good to pull everything together.
Tell me about the faucets and finishes. Like, are most people going to the one whole
single
faucets, single lever, or are they doing 8-inch on center? I hate the 4-inch on center. I'm just
talking about. Are you talking about the widespread?
Widespread
or 4-inch or
one.
I saw a lot of farmhouse sinks. It had 2. I saw every version of a farmhouse sink. But listen, they had ones. I saw a lot of fixtures that were dual. So they had hot and cold, and they would come up, have the bar, and then the faucet over top.
Okay.
And I saw more than I was expecting to see.
That's an antique kind of design.
Yeah, and I don't recall seeing that at the last 2 KBISs, and that was back in 18 and 19.
That's more like a farm.
Well,
like an antique.
Weren't you at KBIS with me last? Because we were in Vegas.
No,
Oh,
I went to market with you in Vegas.
Yeah. Oh boy, you want to go again?
Yeah, that was fun.
No, this was all about learning, and I learned so much, and I learned enough that I can come back to my contractors, and I've been talking to even the vendors that we sat at the ASID dinner.
Yeah.
That night I was teaching them about it.
Yeah.
But I got a whole behind the wall training of what you need for valve wise, because people don't think, they're like, oh, I'm just going to buy a sink. Well, you don't realize there's X amount of components. You need a drain, you need the pop up, you need the you need all the things.
Right. Exactly. So as I was searching around online, there was a new, this bathtub was kind of cool. This was a encrusted, like a, get back. Did you see anything like this for the freestanding tubs?
I did. I saw that like exact tub. I saw a lot of freestanding tubs.
Super cool.
Yeah, that's a resin tub that's embossed with it's embossed with some sort of, it's like a stamped concrete, but it's more resin based. A lot of those tubs with the gold bottom.
Shoot. Then I see satin copper is the new finish, which looks like rose gold to me.
There was something that they were calling living finishes, and that are meant to Pantene, which means basically you get it and it'll look gold or rose gold, but then it's going to start rubbing off. And I'm like, if I sold that to my client would be calling me in 6 months and saying the finish is wearing off.
I have one of those here with Pella. We got the oil rub bronze finish, and it's totally gold now. But I painted it with my Fusion mineral paint, like a bronzy color, and put it right back. So
your me bag would have been a big hit. I could tell you that. And I ran into my friend Christopher Grubb, and he had his briefcase all organized with his line sheets and all of his media press things. Nice. And we've known each other for probably 4 years now. And it was the first time that we actually got to talk, because he didn't have a microphone in his hand and he wasn't running from event to event.
Yeah.
And we actually, it was a nice, calm event.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was in Florida. It rained one day. Traveling, parking was a nightmare. But I mean, that convention center was enormous.
It looked like it was enormous.
There was like South Hall, West Hall, Upper Hall, Lower Hall.
Wow, that's nuts. I heard that the next 4 shows were in Vegas for KBIS.
I thought it was every 2 years they switched. Usually it's 2 years in Vegas, 2 years in Orlando, but that would make sense. It's a lot of work to put on one of those shows. I could tell you. I
can't imagine. Yeah, because there's tons of vendors, tons and tons of walking.
Yeah. And the last 2 shows I've been to, I tend to sneak in the back way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's intense to put those on.
I'm glad that things like this are happening again, because I was on a call last night with a Canadian designer, and she was like, I need inspiration. Everything in Canada is gray.
It was nice to see people, to tell you the truth. Just seeing people again.
Yeah. And I think that's what everybody on the call was like, you've got to go to High Point. It's just good for your soul. You need that to help yourself.
Yeah. I just hung up with somebody on my last call that I think I don't know. We'll see where we're at. My next trip is to St. Paul, Minnesota.
When is that?
I don't know, but it's in the next 2 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah.
In the cold.
Of course. Why would we?
I'll go with you. I've got somebody to see out there.
Okay. Hey, I'll hold you to that.
Okay.
So you guys follow the Design Exchange podcast. We are TDX podcast on Instagram. We are on every consumable channel now on
Yes.
YouTube. We're going to be
Yes.
learning how to make this into a nice video presentation. Melinda, tell me your thing. Fine Design,
Fine Designs,
INT.
Yes.
And I am Daniel
Yes.
Russo Home and Danny Russo. And that's it.
Yeah.
Happy Friday. Hope you had a
Happy
good
Friday.
KBIS. Hope you're
Yes.
enjoying our special guests that have been on.
Yeah,
I brought on some unique people while you've been gone.
Yeah, I know.
We
I've
got
got a great interview next week that I'm excited about. So
good.
yeah, so I'll tell you about it in a little bit.
All right. Well, I'm sure we will talk soon. Anyway,
Yeah.
happy
All right.
designing. Love your
Happy
hair.
designing.
Hope you win. Bye.
Bye.